Howdy peeps, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time. Today's video is a video of ups and downs, some sadness, some it was going to happen at some point, and some new additions. So as some of you may recall, relatively recently I bought a pair of killifish, the red lyre tails, the Aphiostemion australe. They were in here. As you can see, they aren't anymore. Somehow, yeah, I had a mesh bag over the filter to restrict, so things couldn't swim into it. Somehow both the killifish managed to get into the filter on the same day, probably one followed the other, and they were found kind of minced in the back. So that was a bummer to start a day off. And secondly, you might remember we got 3 swordtails to go into the big tank, 3 large adults. And although someone is hiding up in there, and it's dark and horrible, and the camera can't see very well, we have Spaz in a tote. Spaz being my Senegal bicher. Now there's good reason for this. You know how I said I had 3 swordtails? Blue shrimpies. Well, if we take a look in the big tank now, well, we have 2 swordtails, and the female is completely missing her tail fin and has some rather large bite marks on her, and the other one is completely disappeared. Now I think we can guess where the big one disappeared to, being as someone managed to bite off her entire tail in one and leave some suspiciously biker shaped bite marks on her. So yes, the time has come that we're having to say goodbye to Spaz, unfortunately. He's been an awesome and lovely and wonderful fish, but when he's got to the point where he can eat fish that size, not only can but does, it's time for him to move on. Now, before anyone knocks me or berates me in the comments, I knew this day would come. I have got plans, or had plans ready for when the day would come. I was just hoping it wouldn't, really. But everyone else seems happy and fine and dandy. The Akara's all chilled. Clown loaches are currently snoozing somewhere. That's also, I suspect, where the 3rd clown loach went. It went into a Spaz belly. So yeah, not great, but these things happen. Sadness goes hand in hand with keeping fish, unfortunately. But now, some slightly better news. Cherry shrimp colony's gone a bit nuts. We've got all sorts of different colours and types in there. We've got wilds, blacks, reds, rillies, greens, blues, oranges. There's even a couple of pale blue ones with red patches. So lots of breeding going on. So with a little bit of luck we'll be starting to sell those on soon. Oh, there's a buried girl down the bottom. Quite heavily buried. There's usually 2 or 3 at least in there that are carrying lots of eggies. And we move over to the fry rack, which is where the new stuff is happening. So cribbies all hiding up, bristle noses all over the place, more bristle noses, more cribbies, shellies. But down here, if they'll come into shot, we have the new additions. So we have 5 Melanitania praecox, or the dwarf neon rainbows. Literally just purchased today, so they're lacking in colour and rather nervous. And somewhere hiding in there, as you know they're really good at doing that, is a male super red bristlenose. Now the plan is, oh there he's just down behind the rock. Get the angle right, you might just about see him. You can see him moving anyway if you can't see him. So the plan is to put him in with Ginger and start producing super red bristlenoses. Yes, we do have a bit of a trumpet snail problem, but I just pull them out and dump them in the big tank and the clown loaches eat them. So yes, we're going to be having Ginger go with new male and produce super red bristlenoses, and then Spotty will move over into the big tank with his previous girlfriend Bertie, and we'll be producing, admittedly they'll be standard bristlenoses, but we'll get her in shot sharp, might help, but there we go. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that all works out and we start producing thousands of bristlenoses. Careful what you wish for. Let's finish up with a look at the new fisheries. Yep, so hopefully bristlenoses, red bristlenoses, maybe some baby rainbows, that would be cool. As I said, I've got mops made. If anyone wants a spawning mop, just contact me. I made a bunch hoping to sell them, and every single shop has said nope. We don't need them. So yes, that, and obviously the Shelly Dwellies are doing what Shelly Dwellies do, killing every single snail I put in there to try and get the algae, but you know. So back to some happy Caras. Yeah, so that is kind of the plan moving forward, as long as everything works out. And also with Spaz no longer being in here, we can look at some different tank mates that are bite size. So this is where the dwarf neon rainbows will be going, and I'm also going to probably get some Corydoras of some description and have a go at trying to get those to breed. Not sure how many. Maybe 10. No, get the tank a bit fuller. It's been looking a bit empty of late. That was why I got the Swordtails. You got to admit, he's a gorgeous boy. So there we go. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll start doing more regular content now. I'm not working at the moment, but enjoy your hobby, have fun, stay safe, peace out, rock on, and bye bye.